Hi guys, it's Ryan Fowler with Inner Masculine Live. Welcome to another fun-filled, fact-filled episode. Today we have a topic that I think is going to be very useful for many of you guys. We're going to talk about how to spot signs of a woman with borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder. We'll briefly mention, sociopathy, histrionic, etc. We'll mention that as well, and we'll talk about why do some guys fall for these girls? Why are some guys magnets for these types of girls? Why do some guys get in relationships with these women and just tolerate the insanity and tolerate, honestly, just the abuse and all the drama, all the lack of empathy, manipulation, making you feel like crap, calling you the bad guy when they're the ones behaving poorly, etc. All those other stuff that female narcissists do. And to be fair, I mean, narcissism, BPD, sociopathy, it's on all sides. Men do it, women do it. But this is a channel primarily for men, so we're going to talk about women. We're going to examine some clips that explain these traits. But honestly, I'm going to talk about intuitively how you can spot these types. Usually on the first date, not always. I knew a girl. I probably knew her for 2 or 3 months, and this was a while ago, probably 3-4 years ago. And it took me about 2 or 3 months before I really decided, this girl is just not good at all. But I got her out of my life. Hello, Mike. Hello, P-Dubs. Nice to see you guys. Loyal watchers, viewers. I really appreciate it. So we're going to go over this from both a fact-based and intuitive perspective. And at the end of the day, if your inner game is right, you're going to get rid of these girls fairly quick. Or at least, once they start pulling their bull crap, you're going to get rid of them fairly quick. So we're going to end it up talking about what is inside of us men that makes us tolerate them, that makes us get rid of them, that makes us, send something's off right away. And we'll take it from there. But before we dive into that, I just want to make you guys aware that there is a free ebook coming out that I'm putting together very soon. And you see on the bottom of the screen, innermasculine.com, free ebook. So to get that, it's coming out in about a week and a half. You go to my website here, click on free ebook, innermasculine.com, free ebook. Get on the waiting list now. All you got to do is enter your email. You get a free guide. It's going to give you a blueprint. Everyone knows their subconscious mind is important. Everyone's heard that term. Most of us, or many of us, not everyone, but many have heard that 95% of our behavior is dictated by our subconscious mind. The father of modern psychotherapy, Carl Jung, said, until you make your subconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And that is extremely true. I will add to it by saying, make the subconscious conscious and then heal the wounded parts. Until you do that, it will still direct your life. You can be aware, and there's people that, they go to psychologists, they get all this awareness, and it helps them somewhat, but a large amount of their behavior stays the same until you fix it. But the first step absolutely is awareness. And so this isn't going to be like so many details you guys are going to lose the forest for the trees, for example. This is going to give you just the down, simple, nitty-gritty about the different parts of the subconscious mind, how our subconscious develops, what a subconscious program is, how the subconscious mind communicates with you and it influences you, what's going on, and why do you have anxiety that leads you to procrastinate? Why do people self-sabotage? What are limiting beliefs? How are they held back? What's up with all this approach anxiety, hard to approach women, fear of failure, fear of rejection? What's up with, I'll talk about why are some people very motivated? Why others have trouble to get motivation, and just go over just what our brain motivates us towards, what our brain motivates us to avoid. There's going to be some, not only just understanding, but also some helpful info, some things you can do to enhance your motivation. I'll cover some self-talk in here. Hypnosis is a whole nother ball game, which I do. Reprogramming your subconscious, whole nother ball game. but I'll give you some things you can do with self-talk, all in this guide. And when you're done with this guide, you're going to understand, oh, this is why I act this way. Oh, this is what's going on with my subconscious. Oh, this is what's happening. It's good to get that understanding. That's the first step. It's a critical step. So get on the waiting list. Just put in your email, innermasculine.com/free-ebook. So now let's dive into the show. I have some clips for you. I had a narcissistic mother. I have never had a narcissistic girlfriend. I have dated girls who have BPD or narcissism. I never really got in a relationship with any of them because I saw the warning signs. Some of these women can be very attractive, but they're all dangerous. If I see one now, oftentimes you can figure out first date, second date, that they are narcissist BPD, and then just get rid of them. I mean, I wouldn't even say they're for recreational use only. There's some risk there. But let's dive in. We have some videos that kind of explain what are narcissistic BPD women like. So we'll start out with signs of a female narcissist. And actually about 5% of the population is of females are narcissists, like 4.8%. So, if you've dated 20 women, chances are one of them was a narcissist. Now, BPD is actually higher. I think it's about twice as high. So if you put the two together, it's over 10% for sure. It's probably closer to 15. If you add in histrionic, sociopath, all that, you're looking at about 16% of the 17% of the female population has one of these personality disorders. Hello, Eagle Cloud. Welcome to the show. And if you get involved with these women, especially in a relationship, it can be incredibly damaging. And don't you dare marry one of them. Your life is going to be an absolute nightmare. So I think it's important to see these warning signs. BPD is more common than narcissists, but still narcissists is very common. Both of them I want to warn you guys about. And then I'm going to talk about your inner world, how to fix your inner world so you don't attract these women, because some types of guys, absolute magnets for these type of women. And some guys get in a relationship, and because of what's in their inner world, they can't break up, or they have a really hard time. It takes a long time. And by the time they do break up, their life has been absolutely wrecked or destroyed. What's going on there? How can we fix that so you're not caught and sucked into one of these relationships and you're unable to leave? So we'll start out with narcissists, female narcissists. Here we go. Oops. Let me share this. These are both fairly short clips. I may comment here and there, but I'll probably just play them mostly and then comment after. There are some things, some of these videos don't share that I'm going to add to this too. So signs of a female narcissist. Here we go.
Signs of a female narcissist. Can women be narcissists? Yes. Female narcissists can be as toxic and threatening as male narcissists. What is narcissism? Narcissism refers to thinking very highly of oneself. Narcissists are selfish.
And I'll stop right there. They project that outwardly. Inwardly, they're wounded and very insecure. I think they talk about that later, but they appear to think very highly of themselves, and they do put that up as a front. And they have almost a survival-based need to keep this front up. So you can see what we call masks, cracks in the mask, but they will do everything to keep up this front. Absolutely. Here we go. It's not what's in their core, though.
And have almost no regard for others. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental disorder where you constantly seek attention. You don't care about others and believe you are special and superior, even if you are not. Who is a female narcissist? Narcissistic women can be self obsessed.
So just so you know, guys, the reason narcissistic women need all this attention is to counter the deep feelings of insecurity and low self-worth that is in them. That's the same thing with male narcissists, although females have their own feminine spin on narcissism. That's why they need that. It's a drug to them to counter the pain that's in them. Just like an alcoholic uses alcohol to cover the pain in him, they're using this to counter their insecurities. We'll keep going. Every female narcissist who's like really full blown or close to it, a narcissistic personality disorder, has had severe childhood abuse. And this is if it's a disorder, this is a coping mechanism to cover that.
Absorbed, vain, lack empathy, and possess a bloated sense of entitlement. They often have a vicious thirst for interpersonal exploitation and can bully their friends, family members, and romantic partners. Although they can pretend to be caring and sweet, they're actually very cruel, vindictive, ruthless, and even abusive.
There's a reason they pretend to be caring. We'll go into that after this clip.
It is really easy to fall into their toxic web, whether you are a man or a woman. This video will help you identify the signs of a female narcissist to help you spot them easily. Signs of a female narcissist. Here are 7 traits of a female narcissist that will help you spot them. Number 1. They are highly concerned about their looks. Physical appearance is very important to the narcissistic woman. From body size to outfits, from fitness to makeup, it is mandatory for them to look good, if not better than others at all times. Number 2. They don't take no for an answer. Having an inflated sense of self, the female narcissist has a strong need to be right at all times. Denial or rejection is considered a direct attack on their self esteem. Number 3. They can flirt with anyone. A narcissistic woman will flirt even with people they don't like, just
They flirt with anyone because they need constant attention. That constant attention tells these women, it covers the fact that deep down they don't feel good enough, that they have these insecurities, that they don't feel good about themselves. Everything they do is designed to distract from that pain in them. And what you want to understand is these narcissists, female or male, they're almost kind of in survival mode. Like their survival depends on not feeling these deep insecurities in them that are extremely painful. And this is why they don't have empathy, everything else. If you're on the battlefield, it's like kill or be killed. You're gonna shoot that other guy. They've actually shut a part of themselves down partially. I don't think fully, but when you shut some of your emotions down to try and not feel it, you also shut down other emotions such as empathy. And they're just trying to survive, try not to feel this terrible stuff deep down in them.
to get attention. They will use their sexuality and charm as a weapon to get what they want, even if they aren't interested in you. Number 4. They find it hard to apologize, as they believe they are better.
Actually, they never apologize. I've never heard a narcissist apologize. Oh, well, only if their back is to a corner and it's apologize or lose you. And then it's just a ploy to suck you back in. That's the one time they can.
Than others, female narcissists have a problem with accepting their faults and apologizing. They will shift blame on others and avoid taking responsibility for their mistakes. Number 5. They lack empathy for others. Being self centered, the female narcissist struggles with the opinions of others. They are aggressive and inflexible people who are incapable of showing empathy to others.
This part aggressive and inflexible. This is why you got to hold frame. That'll weed them out pretty quick. We'll keep going.
They can easily sideline people around them. Number 6. They don't negotiate, they manipulate. Due to their fragile egos, narcissistic women do not believe in negotiation. However, they are master manipulators. They can manipulate unsuspecting folks easily to have things their way. Number 7. They are highly competitive. The female narcissist has an alpha attitude that makes them very competitive and envious. They may act nice to people who pose a threat, but they will deceive and manipulate their way to superiority over others, even when there is no need. These 7 signs will help you identify a female narcissist. However, it is not always easy to spot them as they are good at hiding their true intentions. Have you encountered a female narcissist? Are you dating a female narcissist? Share your story in the comments section down below.
Okay, so that was a click on narcissism. We'll do the BPD one next. But here's the thing about female narcissists. I guess the silver lining is, Rollo Tomasi, iron rules of Rollo Tomasi. First one, make yourself your own mental point of origin and also home frame. John MLD, my good friend, make money, make muscles, make game, learn game, hold frame. This is a number one defense. Easy, smooth. I'll see you tomorrow, my man. And yeah, good to see you guys. So we got P-Dubs in the house, Mike, Eagle Cloud, EC Smooth. What's up, everyone? So here's the thing about narcissists. Same thing with BPD. If you make yourself your own mental point of origin, meaning you'd rather lose the girl than lose your self-respect, then give up, then let them do things you don't want. That if a woman does something that's going to make you lose disrespect if you give in, it's better to lose a girl than your own self-respect. Hold frame. It doesn't mean you don't listen to the girl, you don't consider her. But if there's an activity she wants you to go to and you totally don't want to do it, don't do it, man. Be like, hey, listen, do that on your own. That's totally cool. You have a right to do that, but that's not for me. I mean, that's holding frame. Here's the thing, though, with narcissists. They are such, what this video said is, narcissists use charm and attractiveness. So narcissistic girls are typically pretty hot. They go to the gym, they do yoga, they wear makeup, they spend a lot, they wear fashionable clothing, take care of their hair and nails, all of that. So a lot of these girls are 8s, 9s, 10s. And it's not that beautiful women become narcissistic. It's that narcissists do everything they can to become beautiful women. So a lot of them are very attractive, very in shape. They do something, they're amazing manipulators. And I'm thinking of a girl right now that I was involved with who did not have full-blown NPD, but manipulated like one. I know how they manipulate because my mom was a narcissist. So, and this girl was a 9 out of 10. She used her sexuality as a weapon. Abso-freaking-lutely. They will. They'll send you, they will hint at sex. They may, send you racy photos. They'll do something called love bombing, and BBD girls do this too. And if a girl is really laying it on thick, and this is where Spidey sense comes in, and you can tell it's maybe just a little disingenuous, like, why is this girl giving me this much attention? This is weird. Like, if it's too much too soon, like, especially even before the first date, you're just writing online. Love bombing is what they use to manipulate guys. And there's the guys who are susceptible to love bombing, guys who don't feel good about themselves, who need validation to feel good enough, who are, codependent, like the cleaning thirsty beta male. They are just suckers for this. And so a narcissistic female is the ultimate test of a man's frame. You can be a man who will hold frame with other girls, but if there's any chink in your armor that's going to make you give up your frame, a woman who's a narcissist is going to find it. She's going to, again, use the allure of sex, flirt with you, love bomb you, make you seem like you're just this amazing guy. And she's very attractive typically. So you're going to say, oh my goodness, here's this girl. She's like a 9 and she's just giving me all of this attention. And that can be extremely seductive. I mean, your frame has to be really strong. Now, with that said, I'll tell you about this girl I interacted with that I've dated other girls who were narcissists, but this girl got the farthest with me. And I don't think she was full-blown MPD. I'm pretty sure she wasn't, but she manipulated like one. She could have been histrionic or something like that. There's a family of disorders. It's called cluster B, anti-personality disorders. It's sociopathy, psychopathy, histrionic, borderline personality disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder. There's a lot of overlap between all of them. Some are definitely worse than others, like psychopath and sociopath are just horrible. Narcissist and BPD, it's like a close second. They and histrionic. Histrionics are very attention seeking, but they're more like drama queens than having a narcissist actually has a pathological need to either get just incredibly high amounts of adoration and attention for you. It actually an unsustainable need for that you can't really sustain. And if they don't get that, then they're going to do things to make you feel worthless and do everything their way, because that strokes their ego, and they're emotional bullies, and they actually feed off of power tripping, off of being able to manipulate you and get you to do what they want. They power trip off of that and makes them feel powerful and significant, that they can influence you like that. But when they are manipulating you, they're making you feel worthless. Narcissists, their whole identity is centered around, I need to do everything to run away from this immense toxic shame in me. Toxic shame, the most painful emotion we have. I've talked about it before. It's a deep down feeling in one way or another you're not good enough because of their childhood abuse. They have this in their core. And this is where drug addicts come from. Cocaine addict. How hard is it to quit alcohol, cocaine for alcoholics, cocaine addicts? They're using it to cover this tremendous pain in them. So they go to, they'll go to rehab, they'll get clean, and then they'll relapse. So go to rehab, get clean, go back to relapse. Why? Because the trauma is still in them. This terrible feeling that they're inadequate, they're losers, they're worthless, etc. So you can see certain drug addicts just having such a hard time getting away from their drugs. Well, with a narcissistic male or female, but when you're dating a narcissistic female, the drug is you. And they're a drug abuser, and you're the drug, and they're going to abuse the hell out of you, because when they get attention, when they get validation, or more often than not, because their need for attention is so high, you just can't sustain it. You can't do it perfectly. So it typically switches at some point to the opposite, which is a need to bully you, manipulate you. They power trip off of it. It makes them feel strong and significant. And it's the drug. They get a high off of that to counter what they feel deep inside. So it's the ultimate test of frame, because their very emotional survival depends on their ability to manipulate you and to make you feel worthless so that they feel better. Oh, I'm not that bad. Look how worthless this person is. Oh, I'm pretty powerful and significant because I was able to get this person to do this thing, even though they don't want to do it. So a female narcissist is the ultimate test of frame. And this one woman that I've been talking about, hinting about, I was involved with her maybe 2 or 3 months. And it started out heading towards a sexual relationship, and she baited and switched me. But and then it's kind of just like a long story. I was teaching her hypnosis. Anyways, I ended up getting her out of my life. I told her that I had wanted nothing to do with her at all whatsoever, because she was, but it amazes me. She actually kept pursuing me for a while, and I would just block her. And I kind of gave her a second chance a few months ago, and she pulled her same tricks and was like, boom, you're gone. But it amazes me how, number one, this girl, hard 9, very, very attractive, 26 years old, very successful, in the gym all the time. Just her body's probably a 10, honestly. Very, very attractive girl, and extremely charming. Extremely charming. These narcissistic women could look at you like you are their whole world. How are you going to feel when you have like a hard 9 looking at you adoringly like you are their whole world? This is what love bombing is. But then they're almost pretty quickly going to try and get you. They're going to start probing and getting you to see what concessions you can make. And this is more than normal women do. Some women, if they're like, well, is he a real man or not? I don't know. They'll shit test you to see, okay, what's this guy really made of? This is a whole nother level than that. This is probing to see what your weaknesses are, what they can get away with, how much of your frame you willing to give up in order to exploit you in the long run. And I mean, they have a pathological need to eventually make you feel worthless, to manipulate you. exploits you. It's on a whole different level. So when you are just dating in general, hold frame. Make yourself your own point of origin, meaning no one else is going to put you first. That's why you deserve to put you first, because you matter and someone should put you first. No one else will do it but you. You matter, you should be put first. So you put yourself first. Doesn't mean you don't help others. Hey, I got to show helping others for a living. I quit my, high paying job now doing this full time. That's fine. This is lucrative as well. But I switched to it so that I could help other people. So, and I'm my own mental point of origin. I'm going to take care of myself first, because if I don't, no one else will. So my wants, my needs are important. They matter. Yours do too. But of course, you want to help others. If you have a woman in your life, you want to take care of her, make her happy, all of that stuff. But she starts to do anything to violate your boundaries, to make you feel disrespected. One thing that's very common is they might get you to sacrifice, thinking you're going to get something, and then you don't get it. Or they bait and switch you, or, they just get you to make more and more and more concessions. So the number one defense against these women, well, there's two, but one of the two, which is extremely important, is always hold frame. And if you hold frame, what's going on internally is get to the point where you value yourself enough that you would rather lose any girl than lose respect for yourself. If you get to that point because you're like, I matter, me feeling good about myself matters, me taking care of myself, respecting myself matters. Like you feel that deep down in your core. This is what I do for guys in sessions. I literally have women now try and take advantage of me, and I feel kind of this bad feeling inside, like, no, I can't tolerate this. It's like, no, you're 2 hours late. No, we'll do it another night. Literally, it's like, no, I'm not going to go out with you after you maybe wait for 2 hours. I'm sorry. So, there goes my camera. Hold on just a second, guys. It's like when I touch my computer in the slightest bit, my camera goes to crap. All right, let's see if this will fix it. Usually it's a pretty easy fix. There we are, back live. So we'll go more into the deep world of your own internal state, so you're impervious to these types of women. And we'll go into more warning signs. But I'm going to play this video now on the 7 stages of a borderline personality disorder relationship. There's actually a lot of overlap between this and MBB relationships. There's some difference, but long story short, it starts turning to crap. Why do some men stay in relationships for women when it goes to crap? Years and years they stay together. Well, there's a reason for that. But let's see what these stages are and just understand it'll be a little different in parts with a relationship with a narcissist versus borderline. But at the end of the day, you're going to be deeply wounded staying in that if you stay in it. If I stayed in that, I get deeply wounded. But, well, the thing is, I'd never stay into that. I would bail out first, and there's a reason I would bail out. We'll go into the inner world stuff after this. So let's play this first. All right, female psychologist. She breaks it down pretty good. And the reason we're looking at the 7 stages of this relationship is you're going to get an idea of the damage that occurs throughout a relationship with one of these types of damaged women, deeply scarred, traumatized women who, by the way, don't you dare think you can fix them. You can't, man. BPD women can get better, but they typically don't until they're in their 30s, 40s, after their sexual market value declines and they can't use that anymore, then they might get better. MPD, narcissistic personality disorder women, the chance of them getting better is like 1 in a million. It's same thing with MPD guys. It's almost impossible. Don't even think about fixing these people.
Registered psychologist, and I'm going to talk about the 7 stages that you might commonly see when you're having a relationship with someone who has borderline personality disorder. BPD. Stage number 1 is the attraction stage, where it's definitely the honeymoon phase, and by all means, the most positive phase of the entire relationship. You will see strong levels of attraction here. It can feel quite intense, and you might notice some mirroring. So, actually, the person with BPD might take interest in the things that you're interested in and copy some of your mannerisms, because they don't necessarily have the confidence themselves to decide what they're interested in. So they like to go along with the things that you like, because they're trying to win you over at this phase. Stage number 2 is the neediness phase. In this phase, there might be a lot of calls and text and a constant.
Now, BPD women their MPD, BPD are both very insecure. There's more abandonment issues with BPD women, but they have the same insecurities. They deal with it in a different way. So BPD can they both love bomb you. They give you a lot of love, adoration up front to hook you in, because BPD needs you too, and they're gonna mess with you too. But their BPD women, their neediness is more apparent. It can get really, really toxic. But here we go.
Need for attention. In this phase, you might also start to see a sensitivity to criticism. So if you comment on your BPD partner's behavior in a way that's less than positive, you might see that the person is actually very sensitive to being criticized, and that their self-esteem is impacted by comments that might be perceived negatively.
This could happen with MPD women too, but it depends on the type of narcissist. I'd say as a whole, MPD women are pretty susceptible to criticism, and you can really wound them, and then they're going to get revenge on you, like really cruel revenge.
Number 3 is withdrawing and withholding. At this stage of the relationship, the person with borderline personality disorder might move back from the relationship as an attempt to try and control the relationship. If they withdraw from the relationship, they actually get a reaction from their partner.
This is manipulation. BPD manipulate the hell out of you too.
Which helps them feel like they're loved, but they also start to see that they can kind of control and manipulate the relationship by withdrawing in this way. Stage number 4 is the devaluing stage. The devaluing stage comes after this intense romantic relationship. Everything is going really well, and you think you've met the love of your life.
This is narcissist too. Love bombing up front, just amazing sex, whatever. It's like the honeymoon phase. Same thing happens with narcissists. It starts really going to crap.
And all of a sudden, you do something small wrong.
A lot of guys stay with this because they get hooked on that initial drug. The first month, 1 to 6 months, they'll see erratic behavior. They'll see cracks in the mask, as it were, but overall, it's just so amazing that this girl's so into them. That's a really hot, attractive girl, super into them. And they're going to chase that dream for the next 2 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever, until it finally flames out. Maybe even longer if you get married to them, have kids with them. That's really not good if it goes there. But getting hooked on this honeymoon, this like the most amazing relationship you've ever had with the hottest girl that you've ever had, you're gonna guys who are susceptible to this stay in the relationship trying to get that back, and every now and you'll see glimpses of it, but it's just now it really goes wrong, and you start to be in a personal hell.
And in the eyes of your borderline personality disorder partner, this is awful, and you are of no value to them anymore, in which case they'll start to treat you very differently. And this is going to be really painful for you to experience, because 1 minute you were idolized, and now you are of no value to this person anymore. Their love seems to have disappeared, and they perceive you in an extremely different light than they did just a few days ago. Stage number 5 is the breakup. This is where the BPD person will either disappear and just leave the relationship without mentioning anything, or else they will announce that they're breaking up with you. This can be incredibly heartbreaking for you, because you might have actually been someone who was willing to provide for them emotionally and support them. However, that's not in line with their needs. They need to actually feel that they're chasing and hunting someone down for love. And therefore, those needs of hunting and chasing love may be met somewhere else. And that might be why they're leaving the relationship. It might be that the relationship that you're offering them feels far too easy for them and doesn't actually trigger the pain that they'll have experienced in early life. Stage number 6 is the repair. So after some time has passed and
Yep. And this is a yo-yo back and forth, and this can last quite a while. And don't avoid. Get out.
your borderline personality disorder partner's feelings have changed, they will decide that you weren't so bad after all and they want you back. So then they will move towards you again and they'll need more attention from you at this point, which of course is going to be really confusing. So they will send messages or reach out to you in a way that's far more reasonable than the last contact they've had with you. There'll be more.
This is called hoovering, like the Hoover vacuum cleaner. They're going to do all these things to suck you back in. This is probably the only time a narcissist might apologize. Maybe, is to suck you back in, and in their eyes, it's not even a sincere apology. It's a surfacing they're doing to get you back. BPD do this as well, hoovering, sucking you back in.
Open to talking before.
And as a guy, you may say, oh, now I can have some of that dream relationship I had at the beginning, just all this amazing connection and, crazy sex with this super hot, super attractive, super charming girl. I mean, their entire, ego, the entire survival of their ego is built around being extremely attractive to lure you in so that they can do this to you.
Be more reasonable, and they will try and repair
so they're very attractive generally.
The relationship, and this might actually lead to another honeymoon phase, and the whole cycle starts again.
Now you're getting your drug, the honeymoon phase. That's the drug that keeps you putting up with the bull crap. People, alcoholics, they know there's a huge downside to alcohol. They stay with it. Why? Because there's some sort of payoff. Even after a while, alcoholics, like the alcohol is more downside than upside, they still stay with it. Why? Because of the time where the drug actually works. Same thing with cocaine, everything else. That upside did such a good job of covering this pain they had inside, this toxic shame, that they'll do it even with all the damage it's doing. They'll do anything to cover that up. Toxic shame, one of the most painful emotions we have. After this video, I'm going to explain more about why guys will stay in these terrible relationships. What's going on in their internal world? How can we fix that?
But actually, this honeymoon phase is going to be shorter than the first time round. So don't expect that things are going to go back to how they were in the beginning. Stage number 7 is that the whole entire cycle starts over and over again if both people allow it to. And then we see it all play out again. All those stages. We'll have a shorter honeymoon stage. We'll have the idolization. We'll have the devaluation, and we will.
All those things, those stages are in narcissistic relationships as well.
Have all this drama, and this could go on for years and years and years, depending on the people that are involved in this dynamic. Sometimes one person will opt out of this, and they will see the chaos that's happening in their life, and they will opt out of having a highly dramatic relationship. However, if both people are unwilling to walk away, you will see this start-stop of the relationship, breakup, makeup pattern that goes on again and again and again. And it causes absolute emotional chaos for both people involved. I'm not necessarily just blaming people with borderline personality disorder. They are really vulnerable, and they're not necessarily intending to make someone's life hell. But being in a relationship with someone with borderline personality disorder can be very difficult unless the person with BPD takes a lot of responsibility for what they experience and seeks a lot of help in trying to turn that relationship into a healthy one. Hi, I'm Dr. Becky.
Okay, so number one, I read an article online about relationships with BPD narcissists, and it said, well, they're not inherently bad people, but you have to shift your expectations and make some adjustments if you're in a relationship with one. It's like, listen, by far, unless you have a child with that person or whatever, don't get in a relationship with them. In fact, don't even put them in the for recreational use only category. I mean, maybe 1-2 dates, but after that, just get out of there, because these are very destructive people. Now, what this lady said is true, that these people, a narcissist, borderline, they're not hurting you for the sake of hurting you. They're hurting you because they're trying to cope with tremendous abuse and toxic shame in them. So we have a saying, hurt people, meaning those hurting inside hurt others. An emotionally healthy person doesn't go around messing up other people's lives, doesn't go around making people feel worthless, giving them this big love bomb and then totally discarding them, which leaves you confused and like, what did I do wrong? What the hell? All that incredible pain. They're trying to cope with their pain. And the way they're coping is incredibly destructive to those who are closest to them. Let's go through some of these comments. Narcissism is called by 100%. But why do these people turn into cluster B while everyone just has toxic shame? Very good question. So here's the thing is different people respond to trauma in different ways. That's just how it is. Now, when you are living life, there's so many variables. Maybe you have a lot of pain, and then one day you're a teenager and someone offers you a drink and you're like, oh my goodness, this is the best thing ever because I feel great now. I lived my whole life with this low level of pain. It's exhausting. I have no escape. Here's the escape. Boom, alcoholic. That's how they became an alcoholic. But another person, let's say, my mom was raised in this. So my grandmother my mom's mom was the daughter of a preacher who was very strict, very shame-based. A lot of religion, especially like the older religion, use a ton of shame to manipulate people. You're going to hell, the whole fire and brimstone thing. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, then you're bad, you're evil, you're sinful, you're wicked, you're going to go to hell. And so she had a lot of toxic shame because just the straight up environment she was raised in. She ran away, she married an alcoholic. At some point, now I know my mom, guys really, really, really like my mom. She was very attractive to them. She was an attractive lady, also very charming. So at some point growing up, something happened where she said, hey, I'm getting some attention here, and this is making me feel better. So my mom's biological dad was an alcoholic, grew up dirt poor. They had one set of clothes, and there were days they couldn't go to school because their clothes were in the wash. So they go to school like 4 days a week. They would eat potatoes for dinner, like boiled potatoes. That's what they eat for dinner. So, alcoholic father beat the mom. Then the mom my grandmother married someone else who was physically abusive to my mom. It was just a really bad situation. And so imagine this person with all this pain, and what they just happen to find, oh, geez, I can use my beauty. I'm a cute girl, and I'm feeling better when I get this attention. So different people just happen to find different things that work for them. But the thing is a narcissist you can see narcissistic traits in a narcissist as early as 6 years old. By 12 years old, 14, their personality is set in stone. So they will be full-blown narcissistic personality disorder by age 12, age 14, before they're too young to even realize the damage this coping mechanism does to others. But the toxic shame in them is so big, they're like, this works. I feel much better this way. And they're willing to do it, and it's set in stone. Subconscious programs are set in stone. They start to solidify between age 8 and 14. So once this is in their core, the belief systems, finding that, oh yeah, when I get adored for my beauty or whatever, it covers my toxic shame. And hey, if I can manipulate people into praising me, or if I can emotionally bully them and feel better, You're 8 years old. There's a 9-year-old bully. Why does that 9-year-old bully other kids? Well, deep down, he feels insignificant and powerless. It's like, I feel insignificant and powerless. This is terrible. But he just happens to be bigger than some of the other kids, or find other kids that there's kids around him, they're smaller. And he just finds out that, hey, if I beat this kid up, I no longer feel powerless and insignificant. I now feel powerful. It's a cope. Well, narcissists do this emotionally. So even at a very young age, they start exhibiting these signs. And before they're an adult and can actually understand how damaging this is, it's these subconscious beliefs already set in stone. And they have this they don't want to go inside and look at who they really are, because this toxic shame going inside is really painful to do. So they're just running away from their entire life, manipulating others, getting adoration from others, power tripping in order to just distract themselves from this pain inside. So it's just a solution. You can almost say it's a solution they stumbled across. Again, maybe a girl is heavily abused, but she's a really cute girl, and people give her compliments as a kid as to what a cute girl she is. And she says, this is helping me feel better. And that's the start of her narcissism. Another kid encounters alcohol. Oh my goodness, this helps me feel so much better. Another kid is a little bigger than the other kids, and so he beats a kid up and he feels better. It's based on circumstances. It's based on how they specifically interpret their trauma, interpret the world around them. I always had a lot of compassion. So I can never do this stuff. I can never hurt someone. I feel bad for hurting them. So, there's a lot of variables. I can't explain it any better than that, other than different people come across different solutions that work for them, and that gets stuck in their psyche, and now they have these disorders. So moving on. Excellent question, though. What's the difference between toxic shame? They're toxic. Same. It's the same. But this is how they deal with it. And well, toxic shame applies differently to different people. So, one person feels worthless. Another person, I used to have self-hate. I used to hate myself. Another person feels bad, sinful, evil. That was me. Another person feels inadequate, like they're falling short. But substantially, the toxic shame in a narcissist is the same as anyone else has. It's not a different quality of toxic shame other than how it applies, to them. Do they feel worthless? Do they feel unlovable? Do they feel, inadequate? It's the same thing with them or with anyone else. But the coping mechanism that works for them, that they incorporated between age 6 and 12, while their subconscious is forming, now it's stuck in their core. That's the difference, is the coping mechanism they found to cover it up. Let's see here. It's super toxic. They beat you down emotionally. Yeah. So, now at first they can be a dream partner because they actually love bomb you. Like this lady said, BPD and PD and MPD, narcissist, borderline, they'll love bomb you up front because they get you hooked on the drug. They get you hooked on the drug. Their coping mechanism is their drug. For guys who don't feel good about themselves, who have their own toxic shame, they're typically codependent. It's a guy who doesn't know how to give himself love, validation. He has his own toxic shame. All of a sudden, this girl who's like an 8.5, 9.5, whatever, shows up in his life, hottest girl he's ever been with. Sex is amazing, giving him tons of validation. How's he going to feel? He's used to feeling not good enough. Now he feels freaking amazing. That's the guy's drug. And what we need to do is we need to go in and fix the toxic shame in men and get them to learn how, and at a deep level, give yourself unconditional love, approval, know you have massive value just for who you are. If others don't see your value, it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means they can't see your value. That's their blindness. That's their problem. Now you don't need this drug. The guys who get sucked in with these type of women actually have their own kind of Spidey sense. I was talking about Spidey sense. I'll get back to that. They have their own kind of Spidey sense to kind of figure out who these guys are and target them. They just intuitively know. They're masters at finding kind of like the weak cow in the herd, like predators do. And they'll target these type of men because these type of men are going to put up with the abuse. They need to abuse you to make themselves feel better. You could almost see yourself getting sucked into a narcissistic relationship by sharing rich. Yeah, sure. You should have no tolerance for a girl like that. Yeah, now, not always, but oftentimes, and I'd say pretty much within the first date, you can spot a lot of them. Within the first 3 dates, you can spot 90, 95% of them. And how do we spot them? Well, our intuition will tell. Now, here's the thing. If you have a BPD parent or a narcissistic parent, you're already used to the behavior. So their behavior won't seem as off to you because you lived your whole life with a parent like that. So that makes you especially susceptible. This is especially, you know, guys who had a BPD parent, MBD parent are going to have a lot of trauma. You got to heal that trauma. Otherwise, you're going to be, our brain motivates us towards a familiar, away from unfamiliar. If you had a BPD, MBD parent, a BPD, MBD woman is familiar to you. You're used to it. It's going to feel comfortable. You got to heal that trauma. I had MBT, you know, MBD mom. And when I was younger, so the thing I guess that saved me was I was terrified of relationships because of the damage my mom did. But I was still drawn to these MPD girls and they were drawn to me, you know. I just never got in a relationship because I would back away, you know. So number one thing, I'll tell you the number one thing to not to, I guess there's three things. Fix your core. If you got any toxic shame, you know, hey, the solution's right here. You know, you can watch the testimonials. I need to do a channel where it's only testimonials, but if you go to the video section of my YouTube channel, there's like 7 interviews. And then there's like another 8 on my live shows. If I'm doing a live show with one other person, that's probably a testimonial on my live show. You'll see that this stuff works. You know, I'm doing this because it healed me. Income doubled again, healed all my female issues. Now just dating, you know, really attractive girls, living a great life, feeling good about myself, feeling confident, like just natural confidence. Used to hate myself, used to feel completely worthless. It's 180 change. And much of it happened very quickly. It was a process, but at the same time, like my depression was gone in 2 months. Depression, I'd done 100 sessions over 15 years to try and fix. Found this stuff gone in 2 months. Big difference within a week or two. Big difference, noticeably better. So, and then I, you know, after a while, it's like, I still have a lot of anxiety. Okay, figured out how to fix that. That went completely away within a few months. Female issues, you know, it probably went in a few different stages. But again, you find a bad subconscious program in you. You clear it out typically in 1 session, sometimes 2, 3, or 4 if you're doing self-hypnosis, maybe 5, 6. But you listen to a self-hypnosis audio 1 time, 5 times, that bad program's gone. You're on to the next program. That issue's fixed, boom, like that, very quickly. Now you go on to the next. So in that context, this stuff that could take years to resolve with conventional methods gets resolved very quickly. 1 session, 1 week, you know, a few self-hypnosis or a session with me, I fix like 2, 3, 4 things. 60 to 100% fixed in 1 session. Whatever we don't clear, you get with self-hypnosis. You know, I give all my clients self-hypnosis, show them how to use it. Fix your core. So number 1, fix your core. Number 2, I said earlier, hold frame. These women are going to want to manipulate you. They are the ultimate test of frame because they're the master manipulators and they're very attractive. And then overall, the number 1 weakness for men is women. It's our number 1 weakness. If you don't have just awesome self-belief, self-value, knowing your value, abundance mindset, knowing that, hey, if this girl doesn't work out, there's another girl even better, you know. And I've literally experienced that. I was dating a girl. This girl's probably BPD. We had 1 date. Second date, I was sick. She started pulling some crap on me because I was sick, blaming me. You know, I'm like, I'm seeing all sorts of red flags here. It didn't go beyond that. But this girl here in Mexico, she was like almost a 10. She was extremely, extremely good looking. But I just saw the toxic signs. Boom, who cares? Found someone better, like even better looking. So this girl's maybe like a 9.25, and this other girl now is like a 9.5. And you know what? If this other girl who's a 9.5, and she's actually a nice girl, well-behaved girl, I don't know if it's going to work out with her. We've been dating a couple months or month and a half. You know, if she starts pulling crap, I'll let go of her too, because, you know, abundance mind, even back in the United States. Yeah, it's twice as hard to get girls in the United States. I would still get them. You know, I mean, here it's like ridiculous how much you can get. I still did okay in the United States, but It's the abundance mindset. I had toxic girls. I got rid of. One girl was I was dating was toxic, but she was never toxic to me, so I kept her around. But if you value yourself, you're gonna hold frame. The silver lining is these type of women. If you can hold frame with a narcissist girl who's like a hard 9, or a BPD girl who's love bombing you, it's a sign that man, your inner world is good. If you can't hold frame, these girls are going to find your weaknesses and expose them. And the silver lining to that is you're going to know what you need to work on, But hopefully your feelings about yourself, your self-belief, self-confidence isn't so low that you're going to get sucked in by the drug they offer and then let them walk all over you. But the guys who get sucked in with these bad toxic relationships, they have these girls give them all this validation. It solves their toxic shame problem temporarily, and that becomes their drug. And then for years and years, they, in the worst case scenario, they're involved with these women. They're just absolutely destroying them, like that lady said. So fix your core. You got to fix your core, man. Hold frame. Don't let them manipulate you. Again, they're masters. If you hold frame with a narcissist, your frame is rock solid, man. That's a good sign. If not, you see the chinks in the armor, repair that armor, the chinks that they expose. Number 3, Spidey sense, baby. Your intuition. When you date these girls, now, again, if you've had a MPD or BPD parent or other very significant person, like you were raised by your grandparents, one of them was BPD or they were in your life, then your Spidey sense may not go off if that's your familiar. But for other people who don't have an MPD, BPD parent, these people are going to seem off. You're like, something's not right here. There's something messed up with this person. Pay attention to that intuition. And honestly, come to think of it, even when I was in my depression, I see these, the girls I was dating back when I was, totally blue pill, beta, self-hatred, depression, everything. The girls that were actually into me, deep down, I knew they were messed up too. I mean, I knew I was messed up. I knew they were messed up. My intuition was telling me, but it felt familiar and comfortable, even though I felt the warning signs. Now the warning signs are huge for me. But like I said, if there's a real master level, like 9 out of 10 MPD girl and she manages, or BPD, and she manages to like not misbehave for a few dates, she might get 2 or 3 dates with me after that. It's like, uh-oh, I see the red flag. Boom, get the hell out of there. I've had clients whose lives are a living hell because of these types of relationships. You and Paul, most underrated guys. Yep. Paul, Apex Mindset, great guy. Shout out to Paul. I'll probably be on his show and he'll be on mine at some point. We talked about that. Paul's a good, solid dude. Thank you for the compliment. And yeah, I know, guys, I know I got a good solution. I just know I do. I've helped hundreds of dudes, like massively, not just a little, a freaking lot. Can't wait for the inner game healing. I'm at inner game healing tonight. I'm going to show dudes who signed up for that how to heal their trauma with self-hypnosis. You're going to get some self-hypnosis audios, a worksheet. I'm going to show you how to use it. I did it the last inner game healing summit, and I have like 30 testimonials. Guys like losing 50 pounds, quitting their porn addiction, just having a huge weight lifted, increasing their income, like getting over approach anxiety, like with self-hypnosis. Like they watch one webinar. Now, some guys are going to struggle, but some guys need a one-on-one session. But yeah, I'm doing that tonight, man. And it's going to help a lot of dudes. I'm actually going to show you guys solutions, not just talk about stuff, What's up? What's up, Matt? How you doing? Very narcissistic older brother and dad. Yep. Well, narcissistic abuse is a very complicated and traumatizing type of abuse. I know. I've been through it. Zachary, come to me. Look at Melanie Tonya Evans. Melanie's program, I think, is $395. Her program's worth its weight in gold. I had a narcissistic mom. You want to understand that your trauma is buried in your core. You grew up with that. It's in your subconscious. Unless you reprogram your subconscious, it's going to be an issue, probably a severe issue the rest of your life. So, again, I'm a solution. Look at Melanie Tonya Evans. Paul Apex Mindset, he could probably help you too. So he's a good guy. So I would say I'm more like, if you're a combat vet, Paul's more of a fit for that. MPD, I'm more of a fit for that, just because I am so familiar with it. My mom was MPD. Get some help, Zachary. I mean, once you do it, you're going to say, man, I should have done it sooner. I mean, invest in yourself. I'm just telling you, man, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I just get to the other side. I'm even telling you, you don't want to go to me, MelanieToniaEvans.com. She has a YouTube channel. Look at it. Her healing program will help you. I can help you get some help. Oh, if you're in the inner game healing, I'll see you tonight, man. Use it. Yeah, be there tonight. Use what I show you and follow the instructions carefully. And I'd say 90%, there's 10% chance your issues are complicated and the do-it-yourself approach with some training won't be enough. 90% chance you're probably going to get some pretty big benefits. So, and Paul does good work. So I'm glad Paul could help you. Paul's a rock star. So, all right. So onward and upward, Zachary. Just don't stop there. Keep going. Keep looking for new solutions. Keep doing the work, because what will happen is you feel better, but we call it layers of the onion. So you clear some stuff out, you feel way better. Narcissistic abuse is so pervasive that you're going to have a lot, probably 2-3 dozen bad subconscious programs in you. You get rid of the most painful ones first. After a while, you can say, oh, I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with this. Clear each one, keep going, because the more you keep going, the more of this bad stuff you clear out and put good stuff into your core, your subconscious. Life just gets better and better and better and better. You got to work on your self-talk too, your cognitive mental models. You got to work on it all, but life gets better and better. So get on the path, stay on the path. You'll get more success. You get, with finances, with women, everything, your relationship with yourself, you just feel better. Your anxiety goes down, so keep at it, man. Start and then keep going, because life can get so much better. So that, I think, is pretty much the show for today. I actually got to go to an appointment now. So I'm glad you guys found this useful. It seems like you did. Watch out for these warning signs with relationships. But again, if you hold frame, use your intuition. If your Spidey sense is off, something's wrong, and fix your core. If you become your own source of validation, then these women can't use validation, love bombing, sex, etc. to manipulate you. It makes you impervious to that, or at least it makes you much more resistant to that. So now you can just pass on this girl and wait for the healthy girl to come along, or go out and get her. That's what we do as guys. And your life's going to be way better. I mean, there's millions of women out there. You up-level your life, you learn game, now you're in abundance, boom. Get it. All right, that's our show, guys. The more you do anything, the better you get. The more you use these techniques to clean out your underworld, the better you get at the techniques. The more you clean out, the better you get. The more you learn game, the more you practice holding frame. I mean, again, these women are kind of a ultimate test of your frame. So if you lose frame with them, don't feel bad. Just say, okay, here's a chink in my armor, fix it. And John MLD. He can help you fix it. I can help you fix it. Paul can help you fix it. Melanie Tonya Evans, they'll get your core strong, and you keep going. And anyone can do this. Anyone can do it. Anyone can. Maybe you try 3 different things out, none of them work. And then you try the 4th thing out, totally works. Good. Perfect. Great. Now you're kicking ass. So keep pushing forward. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, you really do have more. Oops, I got to line this guy up here. Power than you know.